Welcome to the ninth part of Spring Boot Tips series. In this video, we are going to learn about Spring Boot Admin, which we can use to monitor Spring Boot applications. So this ninth part is a continuation of part 8, where we learned how to use Spring Boot actuator endpoints. We have explored a lot of actuator endpoints, how to consume those information, but we have looked at how we can see various pieces of information about our application via REST APIs. But it would be nice to have a GUI where we can see graphically all this information. So that is exactly what Spring Boot Admin provides. So here we can take a list of features that Spring Boot Admin provides. Basically, Spring Boot Admin consumes this actuator endpoint information and then pull all the application details like various metrics and then health information, and then it shows in a GUI. So in this video, we are going to learn how to use this Spring Boot admin module, and we'll continue to use the earlier Spring Boot actuator sample application and integrate it with Spring Boot admin. Give you a quick overview of what is the application we have. So here we have a Spring Boot application with actuator, a cache, Spring Data JPA, validation, web, and flyway using S2 database. So these are the starters we have, and we have enabled all the Spring Boot actuator endpoints, and we have customized few of the details here. So now if we start the application and go to this actuator endpoint, we can see all the actuator endpoints that are available for us. So here quickly we can take a look at this beans endpoint where we can see all the application beans that are registered. And here we can see application health information, what components we have and what is the current status of those components. So like that, we have seen actually most of this information in our previous video. So I would encourage you to take a look at that actuator part 8 Spring Boot Tips series video. So right now we can see all this information. Now we are going to integrate Spring Boot admin with our application. Okay. So if you go to this code-centric Spring Boot admin repository in GitHub, we can see what are all the features that it provides, and there is a quick start guide here. So basically, in order to use Spring Boot Admin Server, there are two parts to it. One is Admin Server and Admin Client. So we need to create this Admin Server, which is nothing but a simple Spring Boot application with Web Starter and this Admin Server Starter. Okay, and once we start this Admin Server in our client application, which in our case is a Spring Boot Actuator sample, we need to configure this admin client and register our application to admin server. So first let us start creating this admin server application. So we can go to start.spring.io and select web and admin. So here, by the time of recording this video, it is not supporting Spring Boot version 2.7.0, but we can go back and use a little older version 2.6.8 and check for admin. So here we are creating Spring Boot admin server, not the client. So select this server. By the time you watch this video, maybe it supports 2.7.0 or higher version also. So accordingly, you choose the version, and that's all we need. And we can generate these applications and open it in your IDE. I have opened the Spring Boot admin server application in my IntelliJ IDEA. And here we can look at this property. We have this Spring Boot admin server version 2.6.5, and we have this admin starter server and also web starter. And there is a dependency management section which added all Spring Boot admin dependencies as a bill of material here. And if you take a look at this application, this is plain Spring Boot application only, and we don't have any properties configured so far. So here, in order to make this application as a Spring Boot admin server, we need to add enable admin server. So with that configuration, and also let us start this application on a different port. Server dot port equals to 9090. Okay, so now let us start the application. So right now there is some exception stack trace that it is displaying because there is some issue with Mac M1 support, but we can ignore that for now. And here, if we go to 9090, we can see this Spring Boot Admin UI. Currently, there are no applications registered. That's why you are not seeing anything here. So now we can go back and open our Spring Boot actuator demo application and then integrate with Spring Boot Admin Server. So next, let us look at how we can integrate this Spring Boot Admin Starter client in our Spring Boot actuator sample application. Okay, so if we go back to this Spring initializer, earlier we have selected this admin server. Let us say if we want to add client, we can choose this client, and here it's going to be similar except the starter. So let us copy this admin server version in our client application and add this starter client as a dependency and add this dependency management section. Okay, I can add it here and refresh. Next is if we look at this documentation, here we can choose what are the API endpoints, actuator API endpoints we want to expose. We have already selected star, and here we need to point it to the URL of admin server. So let us go to this. Okay, so we have started this on port 9090. So I have given this URL. And here we have already selected start to expose all the actuator endpoints. So let us restart. So here we should see whether it is registered. So application registered itself as some code. So I hope this application is registered with the admin server. Let us go back and see. Yeah. So right now we can see there is one application registered, and here we can select this, and here we can see a lot of details. So let us see what we have here. We have this info, which is nothing but in our actuator endpoint, we have actuator info, which gives some application level information, which is being displayed over here. So my app information, and Java, what is the Java version we are using, what is the vendor, so what is the OS. So all the info endpoint details, we can see it here. And also this health information, we have DB and what is the database we are using, what is the validation query, and disk space ping status. So basically you can see it is simply consuming this REST API, Spring Boot actuator endpoints REST API, and then displaying this in nice looking GUI. Also, we can see when the application is started and what is the process ID, and also threading information, how many threads are there, and garbage collection details, and heap information and non-heap details. So it consumes this heap details are coming from metrics, and it is plotting the graph depending on how much memory is consumed right now. So, and let us go to this metrics endpoint. Again, this information is consumed by this metrics data. So we can see what is the metric we want to see. Let us say I want to see JDBC connections max. We can see data source, add metric. You can see max is 10. So like that, whatever the metrics you want to monitor, you can say area heap and hidden space. So you can choose what metrics you want to see here, and then you will be able to see all those details. Again, we have this environment where we can see all the environment properties. Again, it is coming from actuator env endpoint. And we have all the application beans information. Let us search for our own customer controller. So here it is a singleton and this is the class, and we can see what are the dependencies for this customer controller. So things like that we can quickly filter out and then see those details. Again, configuration properties and schedule tasks. We have two tasks. One is cron expression task and another one is fixed relate. So we can see these two here. And we can see loggers. So in our previous video, we have seen how we can change the log level dynamically using actuator loggers endpoint. So right now we can see com.SivaLabs. By default, it has info level. If you want to change it to debug level, we can change it, and then automatically it changes all the com.SivaLabs sub package log level to debug also. We can reset it to info, or we can click on reset either. So that way it is really very convenient. Like if you want to change dynamically for debugging some live issue, we can quickly change it over here, and we can see this JVM details, and we are able to download thread dump and heap dump as well. Mappings are nothing but what are all the API endpoints exposed in our application, both our own endpoints and then Spring Boot internal endpoints like actuator endpoints. And we have this data. Basically, this flyway list out what are all the flyway migrations we have and what are already ran successfully. And we have this caches. So right now there is no cache information because we haven't accessed any uh, API that creates the cache. Right now, let us call this API slash customers slash one. So here now we should be able to see cache. So there is customer by ID cache. Okay. And also we are able to clear this cache. So like this, it provides a lot of information in a nicely presented UI format. And also if you go to this wallboard, right now we have only one application. That's why we are seeing this fake banner here. So let us say if we create another application, just let us create another Spring Boot application, demo 2. Let's keep it like this, and then we can make it 268 the version is, and select the web starter and also select client admin client. Okay, and create. Also let us add actuator. Okay. And here let us expose all the endpoints. Instead of exposing all the endpoints, let us say we want to expose only health, metrics, beans. Okay, and we need to configure this admin URL. Okay, so we have a second client right now, and let us start on a different port equals to 8081. Okay, so let us start this. Okay, There are two instances right now, and one is 8080, our earlier application. This is a new application. And here, if you see it, we are only seeing these basic metrics and beans and what we have enabled, health checks. So depending on what endpoints you enabled, we can see those details only. So here uh, we can see a lot more details, whereas for other application we can see only what are the exposed details. So this is how you can monitor from a single Spring Boot admin server. You can run multiple applications, and I think by default it is categorizing as a single application because we have not given any logical name. Let us try uh, Spring dot application name. It's a demo 2. Let us restart. So here it shows as a separate application instead of same application. Cool. So this is how, if you give a logical name, it will show as a different instance. And yeah, this is how you can monitor simply uh, your Spring Boot application using Spring Admin Server. And this really looks fantastic because without having to do much, we are able to consume our actuator endpoints and then get the metrics data and all, and simply plotting all those details in a nice looking format here. This really looks good without having to do much UI development by ourselves. Cool. So I hope this video is helpful, and thanks for watching.